we're going to add ESH News. Is it ESH or ESH News? Hello.
Yes. Hello. Rose, am I on?
Great to meet you. You're coming
Hey.
real, right?
Yeah. It's the first time that we're talking. We've been writing to each other stuff, and pleasure to be on the PoppyCock Report. How are you?
You look fantastic on the PoppyCock Report.
That's
And
good.
I've always been so curious to talk to you and hear your accent. I think you've called into other shows, of course, right?
I've been there with Brian lots of times on his air, and along with Roxanne and with Harry Sheets a couple of times. And I know I've been following you lately, and I think that you have awesome shows, and just want to and I think that we got some kind of common interest with all kinds of things that goes on in the world right now, and want to join in. So I just skipped on our, we said that we do an introduction talk or something like that. So I just skipped it and went on to the show. Hoping it's fine.
Yes, I love it. So being in Israel, I always hear about how they're on the cutting edge of medicine and technology, and how people would say, "Oh, well, underground Israel is where they're doing all the real great research to prove the healing benefits of marijuana, and they're so ahead when it comes to marijuana." Do you think that's true? And also, do you think that when people go to the hospital in Israel, it's any different and they're just suffering from the same eugenics program, but the research is behind the scenes? Or is healing an actual possibility in the mainstream in Israel?
No. Regarding technologically and scientifically and whatever is going on with the medicine world, usually Israel is considered to be advanced and everything, and with the medical marijuana, so it's kind of it was anticipated that people will get into that territory, and also we got such a pothead kind of people over here that it was kind of meant to be, and also lots of former politician got into this business with medical marijuana, and this was the first question, I guess, and also today, if you're talking about corona issues and vaccines and stuff like that, so all kinds of Israeli institutes kind of notified that they found the vaccine or the cure or whatever and starting to develop it. And I kind of forgot the second question.
Well, I look at the hospitals these days, the new concentration camp, just a bunch of order followers who don't know anything in reality, just doing their job and hurting people. Yeah. Is it the same thing going on in Israel for the general public? If they go to a hospital, are they going to be treated the same way?
Yeah, today there is lots of things with the COVID right now that they detect people as ones who have COVID when they have normal diseases. So we have this thing, and also they have zero of knowledge of what the people died from, because all the people who died over here, the great majority, were above 75 years old, and also without lots of background diseases as well. I personally think, and I kind of got into the realization lately, that the whole thing of medicine, of Western medicine, of scientific medicine, it has to be reconsidered, because let's say our older generation kind of defines it as the only medicine there is. But I think that medicine in general is a lot larger than that, than just Western and scientific medicine. And I'm not actually talking about, alternative medicine, although that I'm seeing a great deal of that, as energetic treatments and all kinds of other things that kind of can help you, and actually helped me through my life. I was sick a long time before, and got cured by those kind of alternative treatments. I'm talking about mainly about the healing that the body gives to himself. Okay, the healing that that the body knows how to work by itself, and is doing that every day. Okay, so the thing is that the body knows the best how to treat himself, and he actually tells that to you, okay, like in your head or whatever. He tells that to you, whatever he needs to consume and what is right for him to consume, okay, regardless of what, you know, all the doctors and the scientists are saying. So I'm saying that once the people will be handed with the tools of how to treat themselves, okay, and it's not by penetrating fear into them like they did in the last half a year. So I think that will once it will happen, they will have the right tool. But from now on, from what I see the last half a year, they just try to push more and more like Western and scientific medicine. So I don't think. Um, this push is being made by the government because I think this is the only thing that they can really control on. But I think that once we'll be able to know how to heal ourselves with our own mind and know what we did, like spiritually, energetically, that causes this disease, and we'll stop it, then we'll be a lot more healthy. And it's not got to do with anything with staying at home or wearing a mask or something like that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
totally agree with that, 100%. And I was just also thinking back to just the different indigenous medicines that we can look at. We did a really interesting episode, 212 with Douglas on Tibetan medicine, and just the idea of listening to someone's heartbeats could be so informative about what's going on with them. And I suppose that was developed just over a very long period of observation and pattern recognition and intuition. And then that also brings up the idea of the biofield. We had Austin Walters on for episode 216 on biomagnetism, and he's used magnets to heal people. And I never would have believed that when I was a kid. Growing up in school, they don't teach that in school. So this can't be true, is how I would think, because I thought that why would the schools leave something out so important and helpful? So it's just, that's why it's so hard to come to the realization that we were tricked, because this is something that directly impacts our lives and how we feel every day. And then there's also the biofield tuning with tuning forks. Have you ever used a tuning fork?
Tuning fork? No, I don't really know that. I actually myself, I mentioned before, like energetic treatments. I'm doing myself kind of like treatments like that for I don't know, my girlfriend and my cats in my spare time. And my idea, it goes like that. We have like a physical body, okay, and in this physical body we have different parts of the body that use us to work this body, but they also have like an spiritual, you can call it whatever, spiritual part, an energetic part, or whatever, some kind of like a goal that those organs were made spiritually, okay. I mean, like, let's say the legs, okay, the legs are the connection to the ground. They are dealing with work, with being active in life, things like that. The whole chest area is about appearance. The whole head area is about thoughts. And I think that and while I'm doing these energetic treatments, I'm usually taking care of each part separately, and I'm trying to see what are it's kind of like I know, pretentious word, okay. I'm trying to see what kind of like energies are being projected out of this part, and to see if there is anything that kind of like hurts to this part energetically, and that means that this person that I'm treating with him did something wrong with the part that what this part represents in his life, okay. So he needs to fix in his life this part, okay, and then he will be better physically. You know what I mean?
Oh, yes,
Yeah. Okay.
absolutely.
Good.
Yeah, when you were talking about energetics and all of these things, that's why I brought up the biofield.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I realized,
Exactly.
I'm just realizing now that I need to add these to my recommendations for anyone that's going through any kind of health issue. But I'm deprogramming myself and remembering that, this is what real medicine is. And personally, I don't want to take drugs anymore. I went through that enough. I am done with taking pharmaceuticals. It's just been there, done that. It didn't help. It made it worse. Looking at the big
It's
so
funny story. I kind of like walked in the last few weeks trying to get like a permit to excuse myself from wearing a mask publicly. So I went down to like several doctors, and then they referred me to a psychiatrist. And I went over to the psychiatrist for the first time in my life. Okay, first time I never even been to the psychologist. Okay, first time in my life I walked over there. I told him my whole story that I'm getting panicked or whatever, getting closed whenever I put in this mask or whatever. And they listened to me. And I went to two of them, and the two of them offered me Xanax and offered me group treatments. I'm telling them, come on. I'm telling them, yeah, I don't take drugs over there. Yeah, I'm not for drugs, and I don't think that group treatment will help me. And come on, and they're trying to, and they're saying, no, the pills are good. They will do good for you. Versus the mask, come on, people.
would the group therapy have masks? If you went to group therapy for your anxiety about wearing masks, would you have to wear masks? Oh my gosh, that is insane. So I guess you need a bunch of Xanax in their opinion to deal with the group therapy. Oh, doesn't this just sound wonderful? I have the biofieldtuning.com up here. Oh, let me remove this comment here so you can see. So we had the owner of this website, Eileen McCusick, on for episode 229, and she used these tuning forks. Let's see if I can get a good picture. You see them? Maybe it's not big. Here we go. There. I got this, the sonic slider, and we have this boot that we put on the end of it that comes with it, and it redistributes it around your body, and it just makes your whole body vibrate. And you just put it wherever you like, and it's so nice. It's basically frequency healing and kind of like sound healing in a way. I totally recommend looking at this website. There are videos here to teach, like learning more about the power of sound. And yeah, I just think it's such interesting stuff. And this is the time when we really need to be looking into this stuff, because we don't want to end up in the system right now. You know, I don't even think that going to a doctor is a good idea, even if he's not going to vaccinate you. I don't think that they're there to help us anymore. And it's really hard for people to accept. So I just keep saying it out loud to remind myself, because it might at a point where I want to go to a doctor, I might not be feeling good, because sometimes I do not feel good, but I just got to stay strong and remember what my principles and the big picture.
Yeah, like my parents, I think my father came to me just this week, and he told me, "Oh, Nir, you need to go to do a cholesterol check." I'm like 40 years old, so I got stressed, and he's got also like cholesterol problems and whatever. Go and check yourself. And I actually like from like in aware mind, okay, after being through this last year, crazy year, I told him. And if I would get checked, I would have, I know, 180, enormous amount of cholesterol. What is this number actually means in reality? Okay, what it that means about, like, you know, my body's shape or whatever. This is a number. Okay, this is exactly the numbers like we're seeing on television that are being promoted by those ones who want to sell us medication and things like that. And then my father told me, yeah, so if you have this number, you will have to take this pill once a day. It's not so bad. And no, I'm too much versus, like, you know, the new normal, which is based on nothing and numbers, which actually don't have any reflection in reality and in our body. I think it's like stupid.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to argue with you there, man. Totally.
Yeah. Anyway, it's been a pleasure being on your show, Roz, and we kind of like have to do like a full show one time and have a good time, I guess, right?
Yes, absolutely. We need to get together in a Skype call and plan something because I know there's so many topics that we could cover. So we'll have to settle on one to focus on, and that'll be great. So, everybody, I'm going to close out the show. Thank you so much for being here today. It's been a wonderful morning. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. I'll be taking calls with Ceiling Fan Man, and I hope you all have a wonderful, beautiful day. Bye.